right, our next speaker is Alison Mender, another one of our fantastic communication studies majors.
So I'm going to be talking to you today about paint and design and how that has impacted me growing up and how it is important to you to know as well. So going forward, my mom has ran her business now for 30 years in July, and she is sitting right here at her desk, and there's a picture of me. I literally look like my mom. So I work for my mom. I've worked for her for 6 years since I've been 14 years old, and through this experience and being directly there with my mother for these 6 years, I have gained a lot of knowledge about paint and design and why it is so important for others to know, because it can literally transform a room into something beautiful. But something beautiful is also that paint can, which is my mom's, was originally an oil tank for beforehand, but it got shut down by the EPA, and then my pap bought the land, and then that started my mom's businesses. But to start this again, the room literally can go from the structure to now something really beautiful that can have both the layers of paint and color, and to have the design and the furnishings and the elements that make it really awesome to be in, and have a warm, cozy feeling, or something really beautiful and bright, whatever you want to make it. So first off, we'll have to start with a few basics. One, we don't want to match colors. That is the first and foremost thing when we want to start design. We don't want to have really close color floor and paint and any furnishings that you may want to put in or take into consideration as well. So with this being said, I'm usually like the design person when people walk in. I want something that's going to accent or coordinate, or something that's really going to pop in the room, not something that's bland like beforehand. So with this being said, I also like to have and show multiple different things in which colors help to bring about feelings and emotions. In one side of the room, you see like earth tone colors and something that's really refreshing to walk into, or something really warm and cozy that you want to sit down and look at a book for. So the process starts with picking this color. The color decides the mood. Do we want something really beautiful and bright? Do we want something that's just more relaxed? Something that can ultimately bring about whatever you want to feel in that room for years to come. But when picking a color, I then go and mix it with our tints and our colorants. So the darker the color, the higher the base. So 1x, 2x, 3x, 4x means 1x is the lightest, 4x is the darkest. So it goes in that way. But with this being said, in interior design, when we are just going to paint a wall, I would recommend Regal Eggshell, which is basically a sheen in which there's both, how do I want to say, like not so shiny that it's high gloss, but not so matte that it's like ultra flat. So, yeah. So, but if we would want to do something outside, I'd recommend Arbor Coat, which is our outside paint that basically can do a deck or porch, which is happening a lot with spring and summer coming up. So, yeah. But first, if we want to do a really dark color or a very light color over top one another, we'd need primer, and that was Fresh Start. So with that being said, we need to take into consideration things that we want to need in that process of creating this amazing work. With this being said as well, we also need brushes, because cutting in, you don't want to like mess up your wall outlets and like get on the thresholds underneath where the wood meets the wall. But if we want to do an outside project with oil, we need brushes that are Chinex or China bristle, because it's better for application. It wouldn't apply well with nylon and polyester at all. So first though, when we want to do this, if we want to do an interior design wall plane, we need frog tape. So we need to cover up those wall outlets, because ultimately at the end of the day, we don't want to get paint on them, and we don't want to ruin that threshold, and we need drop cloths. We don't want to get paint on the floor, and that is one of the first things I learned as a little kid. Do not get paint on the floor. And also wear old clothes. That is another important thing. Just wear something that's old and ragged. But with time, patience, and effort, and putting all these elements together, you can ultimately appreciate painting. Painting is an art form, it takes time, but it is something really beautiful that I've learned to appreciate over the years with being with my mom. And though we do the painting, we need to let it sit. So once this process has come, we don't want to go up and touch it because it's ultimately going to ruin it. When I was little, I did that. Oh my gosh, I almost got my head cut off. You want to leave it sit and cure, and at least for, I'd say, 4 days. So leave it cure, don't let it sit or anything. So, and then sit back and appreciate the power of paint and the design that you just did. So, yeah.